Hi, today's conversation is going to be what things or what businesses are out here in the future that AI will have a very hard time completely taking them away from you, at least completely removing the opportunity for you to be able to manifest them into your world of business and business venture, business endeavors. And so I did some research and I want to share some things that I found out for you. These are businesses. If you're someone that you want to make money in a business, but you don't understand what you want to do, or you don't realize you just want to you just want to start your business that you can possibly grow it. And if you had the knowledge and the education about that business, then you would get up and run and do something with it, right? So this is what we're getting ready to have a conversation about that. And the first thing that we're going to go over here today is going to be something about the three. There's three industries, or there's three opportunities and categories of opportunities that it is here to protect you. Well, I wouldn't say protect, but it's here for you to possibly explore. And from my research, these are the strategic recommendations that I have for you. And I'm going to give you the three areas, and then we're going to elaborate on them a little further. Okay. And also, remember, I told y'all, ask a question if you need to. So, the first strategic recommendation for is AI. Pretty much protection in a sense is not 100%, but in the next 10 years will be very, very, very hard for you to replace a physical person. And so these are jobs, and these are opportunities, and these are businesses that might be to your advantage to look into if you're just on the fence and you're trying to figure out how in the world, or what is out there that I can do that is protected from AI, in a sense that it really won't take the jobs in this area. But however, I'll still be good for a little while. So let's talk about the first thing. And I'm going to give you the few that I've researched and discovered that are the recommendations. Property. Now, the property is can be plumbing, electrician, repairs, roofing, and cleaning. And we're going to deep dive in those in a few minutes. So just hang on tight. Next thing, infrastructure. That is the watering, the refrigeration, the generators, the solar, and waste. These are things that robots is not going to be able to take from you. Not too funny. The third one is workforce. It's the training that comes along with workforce. It's the certifications for certain particular positions and jobs, and it's job placement, and it's contractor development. So building around here, AI cannot take that totally from you. I understand that robots are being built and machines are being advanced, but some things will not be totally wiped out from you. So let's break these down a little further and learn a little bit more about these that I am mentioning to you tonight. Okay, the three divisions, they are being compared. These divisions that I just mentioned to you: the property service, the infrastructure service, and the workforce. Okay, the investment on within these arenas, we won't really talk about that, but the time of your first point of maybe revenue or funding, let's see how long would it take you to kind of turn over and make some money in these businesses. According to my research and according to the information that I've received, it is 30 for property services. It's like from 30 to 90 days. And in this time, you can meaningfully scale these business within 12 months to 36 months. And it is very, very It's very moderate to high, almost moderate to high, that AI can nail your business. Okay. And so your best advantage, if you're going to do any of these property services, is going to be recurring contracts. And so, I talk about this quite a bit, the setting yourselves up. Now, let me reiterate, what were the property services again? It was plumbing, electrician, repairs, roofing, and cleaning. So those are the ones I'm speaking of now. Now let's go down and talk about the infrastructure services for just a few minutes. The infrastructure services is the time of revenue will be possibly around from 3 to 12 months. It all depends. This is not set in stone, people. This is these time frames I'm giving you. It's just depend on your work ethic and what you have going on, and who you some of you may have already been introduced to this line of work. I don't know, and you may know a little bit more about it, and you may have some connections that can set you up to go ahead and get you started a little sooner. But in the event you don't, this is what I'm speaking of. Okay. And then the time of the meaningful scale for the infrastructure services is going to be from 124 to 60 months. And so that's just a little, the regulatory of the difficulty is because you have to have more regulations and regulatory in place for this is very high. Okay. And then large contracts and maintenance agreements will be in your best interest to keep this thing, to keep this particular set to have it more you know economically, just in a rotating cycle. And that infrastructure that we're talking about is water, refrigerations, generators, solar, and waste. These are things that AI would be very hard to replace. Now, your workforce development, the time of your first revenue with a lot of these is like from 60 to 180 days. And that's because of the business model, like, because there's going to be some training involved. There's going to be something that you're going to have to get set up with. Okay. Now, time of revenue will be, let's see, from I did say from 60 to 180 days. Time of meaningful scaling will be from maybe 12 months to 24 months. And it all depends on the credentials of how much of the regulation is going to play a part in that. Okay. And the best economical model for this one is the tuition, the employee contracts, and the licensing. So that workforce development, again, let me repeat and tell you what they were. It was training, certification, job placement, and contractual development. That was the area there. These are strong AI resistance businesses. Strong, let's say that, strong. So if you have anybody that um, and I will, if you have anybody that then pass this and share this with them, because I definitely will be talking about these further. Now, let's talk about some of these things that hold on. Okay. Let's talk about some of these services within the property service division too, because we did talk about those categories, but let's break them down a little further. Okay. Let's break these down. The core services in this particular area with the property service, remember I said it only take you from 30 to 90 days to start making revenue. Okay. And then I said the meaningful scaling it, meaning you really scaling your business, is going to take you about a year to 36 months. And then the regulatory difference is moderate, so it's not going to really be that hard. There's going to be some certain things that you do in this area that may require you some little regulatory things, because like having certain kind of certification or trainings or things of that nature. Okay. All right. Now, the core services is going to be the plumbing, the electrical work, the general repairs, painting and flooring, landscaping, commercial cleaning, roof inspecting and minor repairs, preventive property inspections, emergency maintenance, move in and move out preparation, apartment and hotel turnover. And one more is facility maintenance. AI is not going to be able to take some of these from you. Okay. No, it won't do it. And then earlier, as I was speaking of, even with that, with dealing with some things in AI, let me get back to it was something that I realized earlier. It's just like, a lot of the things it's going to be, it's more of, it's more the reason why it's so much more difficult to replace these things is simply because it is so much of a physical presence. The skilled is skilled, and you got to do more hands-on. It's an unpredictable environment. And it's a lot of these you have to have a little bit more knowledge locally, safety responsibilities, those sorts of things. And then on-site judgment, you have to have that a certain amount of specific judgment. Machines doesn't have judgment. Okay? Let's keep that in mind. So it's going to help you in the long run. Now, let's get down to a few more. We're going to talk about the other ones now. We're going to talk about okay, let me give you the ones for this one here. Let me give you the property service enterprise. Let me give you the best customers that it will be for these particular opportunities, because I know a lot of you struggle with finding your potential client or your potential customers, right? So with those I mentioned earlier, this is what you can these are some things that some customers that you can possibly look to service. Okay. Apartment complexes, churches, schools, hotels, medical offices, senior living facilities, restaurants, government buildings, property maintenance companies, commercial landlords, franchise owners, real estate investors. Okay. So all of those would be your customers from the property service enterprises. That's one of the ones. Remember, I said that it's very, very, it takes you not too long to get it up and running and keep it going, right? Okay. All righty. And so that would be, and then you have some, we're not going to get into all of those because we probably can get into some of this. If some of you are coming to the 90-day intensive, that's where we're going to have that. We're going to leave that there. Okay. All right. Now, the next thing is the next, the infrastructure. We were talking about the infrastructure. Let's see the division, the infrastructure. We're going to go to that division. Okay. Now, these particular business in the infrastructure arena, what these businesses do, they are like the water purification, the plants. That's your utilities department, with the government, or these are government. Some of them are government jobs, not all of them will be. The HVAC installation and repair, commercial refrigeration, pumps, tanks, and filtration systems, generator installation and maintenance, solar installation and maintenance, cold storage systems, irrigation systems, waste water support, waste collection and recycling. AI is not going to be able to do all of this. These are jobs, y'all. These are businesses, guys. Think strategically. Commercial kitchen equipment, emergency power and cooling, preventive equipment maintenance. These things will still be needed. And so you will have a greater chance and an opportunity to be able to be okay if you think about any of these that I mentioned to you. Because I got the third division to go to. So don't leave me yet. Hang in there. And I'm gonna say this to you too. If you a lot of these you can get contracts on. You don't have to be employed. You can get contracts with these companies. You can get the certifications or hire someone that already does this stuff, and you can have a business I'm a biz strategist, Sandy. I'm the one that can strategize. I can take anything you talk about and tell you how you can make it into a business. That's what I do. Okay. So anyway, I want you to know that. Now let's see who's going to be the best customers for this portion of our conversation. Okay. Hotels, grocery stores, restaurants, hospitals, pharmacies, farms, food processors, schools, municipal governments. Those now municipal government, that's where the contracting come in, people. That's where you can get a contract. It's so many contracts out here that you can possibly get. Okay. Data centers. Okay. These are your best customers. All right. Data centers. Hadn't you guys been hearing about data centers are popping up all over the place? Pop, 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 pop. Haven't you heard that? Warehouses, manufacturing plants, apartment developments, telecommunications. Now, tell me any of those I just mentioned. You have not passed, seen, or know about them. Okay. All right. Now, next, I'm going to continue on. And like I said, it's not hard to get these things going. It's not hard to connect with someone that may know. It just all and depend on what you want to do. All righty. All depends on what you want to do. Now let's go to the third division, the workforce development and contractor academy. That's that kind of thing. Okay. What do these businesses do? All right. There's training tracks that goes with this particular thing. And guess what? It kind of like intertwines with what I just mentioned to you earlier in the other two divisions, simply because there's going to be some training going to be needed for those things. And I'm telling you, this is look, you guys, this is how they make the moves that they make, strategic moves that you things that you're not even thinking about. The businesses that you think are sexy and easy, those are no, sometimes those are not the ones that can make you the most money either. The boring ones are the ones that you can really, how they say, come up, run up a bag or come up with. Okay. So just be open. Keep these in mind. Okay. All right. All right. What does these businesses do? The entry level workforce preparation, the workforce readiness, safety, customer service, basic tools. And I know, wait a minute, let me back up with customer service. I know you feel like AI is going to just take over. Customer service is going to be non existent. No, maybe in certain things it may not be non existent, but not everything is going to be non existent. Okay? All right. Let me continue. Construction mathematics. AI, I know AI do. AI get stuff wrong. They get stuff wrong. They get the figures wrong. I've had it happen to me before because I knew what I was looking for. And I said, oh, this is wrong. And it said, oh, okay, I'm sorry. Let me correct that. So it ain't always correct, even on your mathematics. All right. Communications, attendance, and professionalism. Now, the apprentice preparation, that's a part of some things that may be needed in some of these AI resistance opportunities. Let's just say that. Okay. Apprentice preparation, electrician fundamentals, plumbing fundamentals, HAZVAC, solar installation basics, water system basics, OSHA or local safety preparation. AI can do all of that. All right. Contractor business development. Contractor business development. Okay. Some of these things will still be needed. Maybe on down the road. In this section, some of them might be eliminated, like a bookkeeper, like bookkeeping, pricing, formation, business formation. Somewhat, yeah, but then some areas of that business formation, you're going to need a live agent or a live person. Okay. AI agents are not going to be able to do everything for you. Everything will not be done by AI. Insurance, government contracting, proposal writing. And I'm going to tell you a lot of this with the regulations for insurances and other things of those sorts. Sometimes it's going to stop AI in its track. So keep that in mind. Proposal writing, hiring, payroll, customer acquisition, AI assistant administration. All right. AI assisted administration. So you see, this is in the contract business development. So AI is not gonna AI somebody's gonna kind of like need to be taking care of AI in a sense to make it break it all down to you. Supervisor and management development. Okay, that section is crew leadership, quality control, job costing, project management, compliance, conflict resolution, productivity management. AI can't do it all, babes. Now, let's see who the customers can be for this. And students, for those that are getting the education in this area, are not your only, your only customers. Okay. Okay. You could have paying customers, and it could be employers, government workforce agencies, school systems, prisons, and reentry programs. I see some government contracting here, prison, nonprofit organizations, trade associations, economic and development authorities, construction companies, utility companies, international development organizations, and corporations, social responsibility programs. Okay. So some of these things you better think about. All right. And I didn't even go over the salary breakdowns of any of these. No, didn't do it. But, however, you guys better learn to get these opportunities out here. You better learn how to get them. So that's all we're going to discuss tonight on that, okay? We're going to stop there. And these are some things that I said since nobody had a business that they wanted to discuss, so we just kind of took another route. We was going to talk about some things that businesses that we can kind of feel like AI won't be able to take right now. So ease your anxiety, people. Just ease the anxiety that you have. Please do. All jokes aside, just ease the anxiety and get out here and make it happen, Captain. Okay? Make it happen for yourself. Get out here and research and learn and know. And I'm going to tell you, if you're not registered to get government contracted or be government contracting ready, as you can see, some of these things I just listed, there is a lot of opportunities out here. If it's not already, it will be. And it's not hard. If you want to come and find out more, when I get ready to drop the 90-day intensive, you need to be there. You need to DM me and say, hey, I want to learn more about it. I will be glad to send you the information about the 90-day intensive. Okay. And it's like that's 3 months and that's 12 weeks. 90-day may sound like, oh my God, 90 days. But no, what it is, 90 days is going to be 90 days for us to go over some things. You'll have homework, you have worksheets, you have things to go over. You have a live session with me. Maybe I'm thinking about twice a week right now, but I've already committed into the curriculum once a week, and then we'll go from there. But it all depends on how serious you are. I'm here for you. I'll be here for you, and we'll get further into it. And then also, just remember, you were created for greatness, people. So we got to get out here and understand and learn what our possibilities are out here in the world and what we can have, and stop getting scammed by these people telling you that they're going to give you the moon, stars, and in the rain and all of the sunshine all into one day. Stop being impatient. And it's a process. The journey of 1,000 miles begin with one step. And it's not the destination that you should be concerned about. Just think about the journey along the way. You can make money on the journey. You can do a lot of things on the journey. You can learn on the journey. God knows I've learned a lot on my journey to success in my business. And you can do the same. Okay. So that's all I want to leave you with. I will see you in the next video. And just remember, you were created for greatness. Just act like it. Okay. All right. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye. Bye.